Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be reacting to MMG's new video that he released on his second channel a few days ago. Released this video like 3 days ago on his second channel, MMG'S. It says 2K completely ruined my team. So I'm sure literally basically everybody who's watching this video knows who MMG is. Obviously, he is one of the biggest Madden creators right now, but also of all time. He's probably the biggest Madden creator right now in the entire space and one of the biggest of all time. So very, very successful and obviously very well known. And it's very honestly encouraging for me as a MyTEAM creator to see people like MMG and like Troydan speaking on these issues that are happening in my team. Now, I haven't watched this video. I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. And this is my first reaction to it, legitimately. So I don't know what he says in this video, and this may not be quite as good of a video for a reaction as I think it might be, but it might be really interesting. And as a whole, I just want to hear what he has to say, and I think it could be interesting to react to this as well, because I know a lot of y'all are also probably very interested in this and also probably watched this video. So I may also react to the video Troydan made here in the next day or two if y'all enjoyed this video, because he made a big video obviously as well about the packs and all that type of stuff, which I also have not watched as of yet. So I may react to that as well, but let me know if y'all are interested in this type of video. If so, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 25,000 subscriber mark on the channel. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. MMG.
I know this is old news for everyone else.
Is a little loud
2K has
for me anyway. I don't think it's too loud for y'all. I'm
butchered
pretty
my
sure
team
y'all are
so
good.
bad that I feel like I have to talk about this. For anyone who is equally not in the loop, my team looks the exact same as it has always looked, except they removed the auction house.
I like that he starts the auction house, honestly.
That puppy. So now you're asking yourself, if I want to get 99 overall LeBron James on my team, how do I do that? The very simple answer is you can't. I am not kidding. You can't.
Hey, yo, what the?
If you want a player like...
See, he's right. This is the whole gambling problem that everybody's known about for months now.
Kevin Durant, there is...
I will say it's funny hearing a Madden guy like MMG just like legitimately, you see it in his face. He is legitimately, look at his face. He is legitimately incredulous.
You can't.
Like, you can tell the man is actually shocked that this is the way this mode works. And what happened that I think caused this video is he made a video, or he made a tweet like a couple weeks ago where he basically said, trying to record Wheel of Mutt, how do I get these cards this year? And everybody's like, you can't, you have to spend money. And so now that led to, I guess, making this video. I'm not sure if he's doing Wheel of Mutt this year. I'm sure he'll say. Wheel of 2K,
there is a limited amount of time that he can be pulled in a pack. If you do not pull him in the pack in that limited amount of time, it is impossible to access it.
He's also basically impossible to pull.
Is no auction house. And if you're wondering, you have a less than 2% chance at getting Kevin Durant.
More like 0.00001% chance, but
in this Bionic 10-pack box, which costs, for shits and gigs, I ain't buying it. It would cost you roughly 20 real-life dollars.
It costs you
for
more
a less
than
than 2% chance at
it's more like 25 for a 10 box.
Now, if you need to build it,
if you want to open 120 bucks for, again, remember you have a 2% chance per pack at a Dark Matter as well. It's going to cost you 50 bucks. Absurd. You can use that money a lot better, I promise.
Team, there is an array of kind of random, almost seeming players that are available on the player market that you can literally just straight up buy. So this is not an auction house. It is a sanctioned market of players that you can spend real life money on.
It is so funny seeing a Madden player just incredulous about this.
For me to make a good argument here and not just be bitching,
I want to hear what he has to say, honestly.
For 3 hours, we need to go back to when this entire model started. When video game publishers found out about microtransactions, it was a gold mine. Traditionally, you were selling a copy of a video game for $30 or $60, and that was the extent of your revenue, unless you had DLC content, which was pretty massive content. Sometimes would cost $15 to $30. You can think of COD Zombies, for example. And frankly, as a kid, I thought those were very worth it. For 15 bucks, right, I could get the new Zombies map.
Well, that's because they kind of were worth it back then, I would say. Much more so compared to what we spend money on today, anyway.
It's awesome. And then around the same time, 2K and EA came up with Ultimate Team, or MyTEAM, whatever you want to.
A little afterwards, I'd say. But yeah, it was
called.
What?
Where you can.
When did the MyTEAM modes really start to come out? Was that like 2013, 14 when they started to get really popularized? People like, I don't know, Jesser and TD Presents and those types of guys?
Packs,
I don't know. Even before that,
team,
I think.
Distribute them on the auction house, trade them on the trading block. So once this model came out and people were spending hundreds, even sometimes thousands on top of the game copy, that is amazing for 2K and EA. So let's not pretend like the companies aren't supposed to try and maximize the revenue. That's literally what a company does.
I've made that point as well. That is their job. I don't think at the end of the day we should realistically expect the game to be just the most accessible thing in the world where you can literally get every card in the game for free insanely easily. That's not their job. And I think people who expect that are unrealistic when they're annoyed about being unable to attain cards in the past because they're too expensive. Sorry, that's how it works sometimes. At the same time, that's very different than the system we have this year, and I'm sure he'll talk about that more.
So I get it. EA and 2K saw Ultimate Team, saw how good it was. They started investing a lot of resources into it. They started adding all these packs, lots of ways to spend your money. It made sense. But what happened with EA and 2K is as this system progressed, you started to see bots join the market. You can think of a website like MMG'S. This is clearly a Chinese...
I'm glad he brings this up because this is a really good point, and honestly, I have been probably lax in talking about the impact that MT buying had specifically on my team, but also has had on games like MUT and other games as well. Currency buying in those games has massively impacted things like this. Now, that does not justify the level of corporate greed that 2K has had this year. Now, what they did last year with banning people was understandable. Even banning them from 50K, while I didn't love it, was, I thought, acceptable. This is a totally different situation that we're dealing with this year. Where they have turned the game into a gambling simulator. That's a totally different concept.
Chinese website where these Chinese dudes are running infinite bots on Madden or FIFA or RuneScape,
all of the games, 2K, it was on all of them, really.
Coins, and then selling them dirt cheap as a third-party supplier. Now, this pissed off EA and 2K because now they're...
And justifiably so. Again, I don't have a problem with 2K being annoyed, or EA, or any of these companies being annoyed about that. That makes sense. They should logically be annoyed about that. Yes, I and many other people took advantage of and even promoted those websites for years. MMG promoted them. I promoted them. Tons of other people promoted them. It is not something that is unique and I know many of y'all watching bought coins, bought MT, bought whatever for years. It's not a problem that these companies didn't like that. The way that things have been developing recently is the problem.
Getting undercut. They're losing revenue to MMOEXP and all these websites where you could buy coins. So over the years, we started to see some restrictions. You'd see people getting banned for buying coins.
It was mainly bans.
On 2K and EA for buying coins over the years. EA has since removed...
2K didn't ban for buying MT until last year, remember? EA was trying to ban for buying coins. They've been trying to ban people for buying coins and farming and stuff for years.
The trade block. You've seen...
Yeah, they removed the trade block. That was not a 2K thing, though, ever.
2K and EA put price limits on the auction house. And frankly, I was kind of sad back when it was the Wild Wild West. I think the game was a lot more fun. It was a better user experience. But yes, I get it. The companies don't like getting undercut.
I agree with what he's saying here. It was probably more fun, but you can't really blame them.
What I am shocked by is this utter mutilation of the game mode. This is like the apocalyptic shit that I never imagined would happen to an Ultimate Team mode or a MyTEAM mode, whatever you want to call it. This is brain dead fucking stupid. Do you understand the heart and soul? And I'm speaking to whoever up in 2K made this high-level decision. Because I know for a fact the people that make this game know how stupid this was. They just didn't have a say in it. Oh my gosh. The auction house is the mode.
Yes.
It is the mode.
But it's not just that, because the player market was okay. And that's the thing that I don't know if MMG is going to talk about. The player market was okay. The auction house was the mode, yes. But the player market was not awful until they started taking every card out of it. That's the thing that MMG's probably he may, I don't know, I haven't watched the video again, but that's the thing he probably is not going to really address because he wasn't playing MyTEAM when the player market was used properly in the first few seasons. This game, I thought, despite the gameplay having its flaws, content-wise was pretty good until All-Star Weekend. And then everything, all hell broke loose, basically.
Taking out the auction house is one of the stupidest things
you
could have done.
Taking out the auction house was dumb.
Bots are frustrating. I get it. You're losing money to a third party.
But they had bans like kind of figured out last year towards the end of the year. Basically, everybody who's buying currency was getting banned. They could have kept that and kept the auction house. But
one thing that I'm certain of is this could not have worked. This did not work. 2K was attempting to fully shut out the bots, fully shut out the third-party sellers,
until they started the gambling stuff.
Any way of people circumventing paying 2K. But I think they alienated their fan base so strongly with this dog shit decision that they are losing money. This is just a theory. I'm
not sure they're losing money yet, but I think they're starting to. That's the honest truth. Last week specifically, was with the cerebral content or whatever it was in my opinion the lowest I have ever seen since I started playing my team. Just the social media community engagement with this game mode, and that was with some like decent name cards and stuff coming out, like and a Patty Mills base 100 overall as well. But like, yeah, he's kind of right. The game is dying, and he's not even a big part of the community, but the game is dying. This is the time when the game generally takes off, and it is instead dying. And that is due to 2K's decisions, and that will eventually hit their pockets because, yes, big spenders have been, I think, encouraging this gambling content, but it's slowing down. And it makes me wonder, this can't last, right?
The disinterest, the
I don't have knowledge on their books either,
frustration that anybody playing this mode would have,
anybody.
and the ridiculous
Everybody hates
thought of using this dog shit play. Like, this is not the same mode at all. And not only, you know, do you have this bargain bin of fucking randos to pick from, but the best cards, like the cards that people actually want to use in Ultimate Team modes, are inaccessible. 2K,
except for insane grinding.
This entire mode started out as they're trading cards.
And even then,
buddy.
most of them are.
Look at how you draw these up. They're trading cards. It's a collection game. Can you imagine if people collected sports cards and you couldn't exchange them? It's half the fucking fun. It's more than half the fun.
He makes a very good point about the auction house.
Is the fun. Nobody collects trading cards to have them collect dust in a fucking bin under their bed. People who are really into it, really excited about it, they go on eBay and they sell them. They trade them. They go to collection shows.
He's right.
This is the whole fucking part. Taking out the auction house and the trade block is so utterly insane. Okay, sorry. I'm just gonna be bitching for so long, but you guys get the point. I could bitch about this literally forever. I can't fucking believe they did this. This is so utterly stupid. Now, here's the good news, though. They can learn from their mistakes. I don't know if they will. I don't know much about 2K's upper level management, but this has to be one of the worst decisions I've ever seen.
Don't get your hopes up that things are going to actually realistically change. Is it possible? Yes. Am I getting my hopes up at this point with how ridiculous this company is? No. MMG is not as tuned in my team specifically, and that is understandable. He's a Madden content creator at the end of the day. Doesn't play my team for the first majority of the year, every single year, until the end when he plays Wheel of 2K, and he's always a little clueless. I've watched Wheel of 2K. I'm sure y'all have too. He's a little clueless when it comes to my team. That's totally fair. Everything he's saying is entirely spot on,
I would be so shocked if they sit down at the end of the year and they go, what a great call. This
Yeah.
is great on our books. People are still spending as much.
It had to have looked good on their books, though, at first, which is why it's continued happening. There's no way it's continuing to, though, and there's no way it's going to continue to over the next 2 months of this game if they continue this concept.
If not more on my
Because nobody's
team,
playing the game
and
anymore.
we're going to keep rocking with this. I will be so shocked if that's the case.
I agree.
The reason I need to get this off my chest is
I agree. I think things will change. I just wonder when and if it's too late.
because I sat down to record Wheel of 2K
And also how, because they're still going to try to be greedy.
Completely butchered this. I'm still going to do Wheel of 2K.
Oh, well, that's good.
Horrible not doing Wheel of 2K. Everyone's been asking for it for 9 straight months. But I'll say this: there's a
How is he
twofold
gonna do it?
caveat. I am not shelling out hundreds of dollars for these stupid ass 100 overall
W, he
cards
has
that
the
are
money to
unholdable.
spend. I'm glad he's
I'm
not spending
doing
it.
2, I'm only gonna do like 8 episodes of Wheel of 2K. I'm gonna make them the sickest 8 episodes I can. I'm gonna make it fucking
fair.
awesome. I think I did 60 episodes last year, 2 years ago. No
I'm not going to lie, you should like use somebody's account for Wheel of 2K who has all these cards. That's what he really should do.
fucking way. 2K, I know I'm being hypercritical here. Please, you can fix this. You have all of the UE, you have all the data, you have all of the coding to simply put the auction house back in. Don't fuck this up. This is crazy, man. If this is the same in 2K25, I am full hardcore boycotting. I will not play. Wheel of 2K will be done. We're hopping to fucking MLB The Show, baby. We'll hop to anything. I'll do nothing. In June, I'll just piss my pants and lose another girlfriend. I don't give a shit. This is crazy. I cannot believe they did this.
I agree. I
Here's my
entirely
closing
agree.
note.
Everything
I've been
you
thinking
said.
of this concluding
pretty
statement
much.
for a while. 2K, let's pretend that you have a revenue increase of 2% from this, okay? Let's pretend that there is some sad whale degenerate.
Because they probably do. They realistically, to this point, they probably are at a revenue increase. How big is that revenue increase? I have no idea. Again, I would love to talk to somebody from 2K and get their insight, but nobody from 2K I don't think that's ever going to happen realistically. But let them talk.
Who are spending hundreds of thousands on 100 overall cards every single week, and that has shot your books up, okay?
It might have
even though
slightly.
you
It's
probably
possible.
have less people playing My Team, you're
Definitely
still
have
making
less people
more.
playing
Let's
My Team.
pretend that's the case.
It's
Is
possible.
it
That
really
might
worth
actually
it?
be true.
Is that minor revenue increase worth it? Is it worth alienating the fan base that has played My Team
In the
for so
very
many
short
years?
time,
Is it worth
theoretically,
making
financially
this
it is,
game
but
dog shit?
long-term, I don't
Is it
think so it
worth
is.
it? I would be so shocked if it is. One of two things. They'd either need such an insane revenue increase
Yeah.
to justify this, or there's just some
There's no way the
fucking
revenue
dickhead,
increase is enough,
some
especially
dickhead
now.
who gets to make this call, and he doesn't give a fuck about any of us. That's probably the more likely.
His name is Strauss Zelnick, by the way, is the guy who's the dickhead, as MMG calls him, who can make whatever decisions he wants and does not care about any of his customers. That's the guy, by the way, if we want to know who is the problem realistically. Now, is he the guy making this decision for My Team? Probably not. But he's the head honcho. He's the guy who's behind all of these screw-ups from Take-Two specifically. Now, obviously, this is not exclusively a Take-Two problem. Take-Two and My Team are obviously the worst culprit of it so far, but we're seeing it happen in other modes. FIFA's been having big issues and big community issues as well, obviously, especially very recently. Madden is not in a great state themselves, and MLB The Show, while still probably realistically the best and the most exclusive, or not accessible of the sports games, is still taking a big hit this year, and definitely much worse than it used to be. So, as a whole, it's kind of all these games. It's just My Team that's the worst. And it's really interesting to hear MMG's perspective on this, and I honestly agree with pretty much everything he said. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all enjoyed my input to what he said. And I don't know, man. I like MMG. He's a good dude, and I enjoy hearing his perspective. I will be watching Wheel of 2K whenever he publishes it, and I agree with him. I hope things change, because if they don't, this game mode is legitimately done. That's all I have to say. Regardless, that's going to do it for this video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.